Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a tutorial on this spring inspired look. I wanted to just do something that was really fresh, and I wanted to do something with a bold lip because I feel like it's been a while since I've done like a really bright lip, and I love this lip color. This is one of the Ultra Mattes from ColourPop. I've really been obsessing over them lately, and I think this color is gorgeous, especially for spring. It's a nice bright red with an orange undertone to it, so I really wanted that to be the focus of the look, and I just paired it with some really bronzy, healthy looking skin and pretty simple eyes. So if you'd like to see how I got this look, then just go ahead and keep on watching. To start off, I've already applied my foundation. I use the MakeupForever HD Stick Foundation, and then I'm going in with this palette from them. This doesn't release until next month, but I wanted to try this out, and I really love this color corrector in here. I'm just applying this to my under eyes. You guys know I usually use like a salmon-based concealer, but this just really helped to brighten up the under eyes. And then I'm going in with my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I just love this. I've gone back to this after using the Urban Decay, and I just like this one so much more. I used the shade Vanilla, and I went under my under eyes, around my mouth, down the center of my nose, and then the center of my forehead to highlight. Now, of course, I'm just blending everything out with this Real Techniques damp sponge, and I'm also going to be using another product that is new to me, and this is the Benefit Do the Hoola. This is a liquid matte bronzer. I just think it's such a cool concept, and I love the original powder Hoola, and this was no different. I love this, and usually I don't go for like a liquid bronzer, but I'm stippling this on with a Morphe brush, and you can see it just doesn't look like too orange or too cool on me. I love it. I think it looks so beautiful and radiant, especially for spring and summertime. I'm just applying that everywhere where I apply my bronzer. So on the temples, the cheekbones, and also down my neck, so everything blends really nicely. And then I'm just setting all of my cream products in place. Now that we're done with them, I'm going to use my Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder because it's just my favorite, and I always use my damp sponge to apply it to my under eyes. I feel like this helps so much with creasing. And then I'm just taking a big powder brush and really, really lightly dusting over the rest of my face before I go in with any more powder products. So my camera totally stopped recording, but I did go over all the areas that I applied the Hoola with my Luminous Bronze Light from Hourglass. This is a really beautiful warm bronzer, and then I wanted to stick with this theme for the blush, so I'm using Wild Honey Blush from Becca. It's a beautiful kind of terracotta shade, and I always use a duo fiber brush whenever I use my blushes from Becca because they're so pigmented. And then I'm just going over all of that area with a powder brush, just kind of making sure that everything blends really nicely and doesn't look too harsh. For my highlight, I'm using Luminous Light from Hourglass. If you're looking for a highlighter that never looks overdone and is just a beautiful kind of glowing from within highlight, this is it. And if you follow me on Snapchat, you saw where Layla threw this and busted it. It was so sad. But it seriously is my favorite highlighter. I go to this all the time, and I'm applying that to the highest points of my cheeks, the end of my nose, right above the arch of my brows, and then a little bit on my Cupid's bow as well. And it just makes you look so glowy and beautiful. Now that the complexion is done, we can move on to the eyes, which are super simple. So I'm just priming them with Air Patrol from Benefit, and I just started using this primer and I really like it. So I'm applying it all over the lids and up to the brow bone. And for my eyeshadows, I'm using all Anastasia shadows, and most of them do come from the Self-Made palette, but she doesn't have like a really light shade in there. So I'm taking Soft Peach from another palette of hers, and I'm applying that in the crease, and you can see this doesn't give you a ton of color payoff, but it's a nice transition shade. Now going into the Self-Made palette, I'm picking up the shade Hot Chocolate. It's a nice, really warm brown, and I'm using a Sigma E35, and I'm applying that to the crease, and you can see I'm using it pretty light-handed. I don't want the eyes to be heavy at all. I just want to give them some subtle definition, so I'm applying that in the crease, starting in the outer corner, and then just kind of sweeping it in towards the center of the lid. For the lids, I'm using Pink Champagne. This is hands down my favorite eyeshadow she's ever come out with. It's so metallic and sparkly and girly, and I love it. I think it's so beautiful, especially for spring and summertime. So I misted my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus, and then I am packing that all over the lid. Now for my wing, I'm using my NYC Liquid Liner as usual. I've tried a couple of new ones this past week and they just didn't hold up to this $3 eyeliner. This stuff is just the best. It's super black and matte, but I do want to find another one that I love. So if you have one that you are just obsessed with, then let me know in the comments below. And then I'm going to be tight lining my eyes. This is really important in a look like this. You don't want to see any gaps in your lashes. So tight line your eyes, and then I'm going to be applying some mascara to prep for lashes. This is the Too Faced mascara, and I'm going to be using my favorite lashes, the Queen Bees from Coco. These are just so beautiful. I cannot get enough of this lash. They're super full and wispy, and I just love them. For the lower lash line, I wanted to keep it super light and simple, so I'm using the shade Hot and Cold. This is a really pretty kind of light bronze color that has some shimmer in it, and I'm applying that from the very outer corner all the way across the lower lash line and just keeping that inner corner bare. For the inner corners, I'm taking the shade Treasure on this small detailer brush from Real Techniques. This is one of my favorite highlighting colors, so I'm applying that to the lower lash line on the inner corner, and I'm just kind of wrapping that around that inner corner. You can see I apply it to the inner third of the lower lash line, bring it into the inner corner, and then connect it to the pink champagne that I have on the lid. I added some mascara to those lower lashes, and then I'm also taking Legend along my brow bone to highlight, and now it's time for that nice bold lip. I'm first lining my lips with the Julep Lippy Stick. I know that Creeper may have one that corresponds with it, but this one's pretty close. It's nice and bright, and I'm just lining my lips first with this, and then I'm also kind of filling them in really lightly, and then I'm going to be applying the matte liquid lipstick in the shade Creeper. This is so pretty, and I really love the formula of these. I have dry lips, and these didn't dry my lips out at all. So once you get that on, your look is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys!